This is an older laptop. I think it's about a year and a half old. We bought it from Costco for my kid for school, and we realized that it's so slow, is useless, and also has some other troubles. The power button you have to press harder. So it's a super cheap laptop, probably a few $100s, and since it's made by this company, the HP consumer side, it's a piece of junk. It's just a plastic with some electronics that generally end up into the eco waste or the recycling electronics bins. And I'm telling you that because I used to repair laptops, and the highest numbers of faults were on HP laptops. Now, I can't say exactly why. Maybe because HP at the time were cheaper, and people were tempted to buy the cheapest laptops on the market. So that's why the higher numbers of laptops with troubles, especially hardware and motherboard troubles. But I dropped that business aside, so I don't do repairs anymore. I just know what's inside and how to repair these things. And since they became so cheap, I thought, okay, it's not worth it to waste my time, hours and hours, for something that is only a few $100s. Now, this one was sitting somewhere in a pile of other electronics, and I thought to reactivate it for doing some remote work while I'm going on a trip. And what I had to do to erase everything and reinstall the built-in operating system, which is in the hard drive. So they have one of the section of the hard drive, one partition that is used to store the original operating system. In case you want to delete everything and you want to reinstall, you can find that one in the internal hard drive. But what the reason I'm recording this video is to show you that like Android operating system, I'm not sure about Apple, I'm just starting using Apple, but like Android, you get junk and bloated operating system. So operating system loaded with useless stuff, and by default has some privacy settings set on, so they can track your activity and location. And I was annoyed by that. Luckily, I'm one of those who check some things, check some settings, and I had to deactivate those like a tracking location, cookies, tracking activities, sending data and usage data to Microsoft and all that. I thought only Google does that, and people who provide Android operating system, but seems that Microsoft does the same thing. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's consumer laptop, I don't know. Now, I disable those tracking settings. Then I went to the battery. I want to check the battery, and I said, okay, battery settings, set to best performance, but I wanted to see what uses my battery life. Okay, and I went to this setting, and before recording this video, I disabled and deactivated um, lots of apps. Now you will see some apps that are still installed on this computer, but I uninstalled at least 10 apps, which are not big in size, maybe 8 kilobyte, and which are actually some links. But I didn't like to see Netflix, LinkedIn, booking.com, and some other stuff like that on a newly operated system. So those links are built in, and I select all apps. I want to see everything that's using the battery and everything that's installed on the computer, and I see the ones that are provided by Microsoft, managed by Windows. Connect. I have no idea what the heck this one does. Uh, managed by Windows, managed by Windows. But if I look at who makes this one, so let's Windows decide. Uh, okay, in some of the files, it says Microsoft. So if I look at the Microsoft, of course I'm going to trust that app. I don't know what HP Jumpstart. So that's nothing. Those are like they come with a system. McAfee, okay, it's like they have a partnership with antivirus software. I could say it depends. It could be a good thing, but because if you have average user buying a computer and not bother to install an antivirus software, kind of it's affecting their computer security and probably other people. It's like, okay, we have these new kids in the block, immigrants moving to the community, or newborn, or uh, adults moving into a new town, and they not always come with a vaccine, right? And the community decides to vaccinate all those new people in the communities, like a newborn and all that. So they do that. They say, you know what, we'll get you vaccinated by default. You want it or you don't want, because naturally uh, you don't come with the vaccine, or you're not protected. So we want you to be protected and also to protect other people. So it's kind of a human mentality, instead of relying on each individual body defense mechanism. So I can't say, I don't want to comment is good or not, but on the laptops they kind of give you the antivirus, so they vaccinate you. It's like okay, well, it's Microsoft. We think that way. It's Bill Gates. They people at the top. They say, you know what, we need to vaccinate everyone, including the operating system. So that probably is okay if you have a Windows, and if they trust this vaccine, the McAfee, probably is okay. So it's kind of a tested and trustworthy antivirus. So if I see other ones that are made by Microsoft, voice recorder, so some of those I don't need. So let's see, time period 24 hours. So 24 hours is okay because I just installed this thing. Of course, there are other apps that are installed but they are not running. So films and TV allow. I disabled that one. Yeah, I disabled. So right now it's after I cleaned up, but like I said, there were Netflix and LinkedIn and all other uh, links, and they call it apps, but actually they are links, the small apps that are a link to a server, to a website. So I didn't like that, and I did some cleanup, and I thought to share my experience, and maybe not teaching you how to do it, but just making you aware that if you allow, or if you use the computer with the default settings, see 78%. So this is, I'm on the setting page, so that's why this app, the settings application, used a bunch of battery, but doesn't mean it uses 78% of the total battery. It's just like the percentage among the other apps. So you see, I removed one of the Xbox links. but it's still here. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't see an uninstall button or advanced settings. Even I press right click on it, it doesn't do anything. So I'm stuck with that Xbox thingy. Let me see. Can I? No. Let's see if I minimize that. Windows voice recorder. So I want. I don't want to have it running on the background. Let me see. No, I want to see if I can right click on this Xbox thingy. No, I cannot. Yeah, so those things that are, it says managed by Windows. So I don't want Windows to decide for me. Security center. So camera, same thing. I don't want Windows because if someone takes control over the Windows, some apps in the Windows, like some hacker or something, they can control your camera, and I don't want that. So also I don't want to attach a sticker here. Some people do that. They put a piece of tape over the camera and they prevent the camera. And also I disabled the microphone, so voice recorder. So let Windows decide. So I don't want that to. I don't want to allow Windows or the operating system to control the camera, the microphone. It's not like I'm hiding stuff, but I don't want my wife to worry about, leaving the laptop around or something. And if she wants to do some remote work, I don't want uh, to give her a concern or something. Like, okay, people are sneaking into this computer, and they may go through the VPN to some other places. I don't know what she does. But yeah, that's the idea. If you are concerned about your workplace security, you watch out what type of system you use, what type of laptop, or what type of operating system. And I'm not saying the Windows 10 is unsafe. I have no idea. I can't tell you that. You should check with some security notes and reports. You should update these things, or you should trust Microsoft because there's nobody else on the market to trust. That's the idea. So it's like uh, you have 20 doctors telling you different things, how to treat yourself or how to protect yourself from this, and who you trust. Okay, the bigger name doctor who probably have a bigger practice, like a bigger clinic, um, maybe it's famous, and you think, okay, maybe they know this doctor knows better. So you don't trust the little shaman or something that may tell you, oh yeah, you know what, yeah, the viruses are energy, so this is the way you defend the virus. You meditate every day and you eat healthy, stay healthy, and you will be protected or something. No, you go to those who have results and who uh, have experience in the field with proven results. That's people do. So same thing here. Microsoft created the operating system. They have hundreds of engineers working to defend the operating system, right? And when compared to smaller operating systems, this probably more people work on improving the security. But another thing is that the more popular the operating system is, the more people buy it. So the more users, the more people buy an operating system, means the hackers have more prey. So it's like, okay, which are most, like, which is the more popular operating system with naive users, like those who don't know how to check security, how to defend themselves, how to use an antivirus or a vaccine or something. And we go for those. We don't go for Linux and Apple thingy. It's too much work, too much hard work. Since we can get a free meal or cheap, like not cheap, but less hard work for that meal somewhere else, like with Windows. Yeah, so that's the idea. Windows is more popular, maybe has more updates, but since there are so many users, it's higher chance to spread viruses, higher chance to get encounters with attacks, right? Because you are part of a mass of people who uh, use the same thing, the same platform. So letting you go, those are a couple of my thoughts for today. Yeah, you should, if you decide to use Windows um, as your base platform, you should clean it up. You should clean it up because this is a, it's set for an average user who is like just providing a data. It's like a is not just a customer, but it's a user who's being used for the data. Like in those conspiracy theories where that tells you the Microsoft want to inject some chips so they can collect the data of you, your body biometrics data, so they can use the data into powerful networks to do make Bitcoin, whatever. So I let you go. Take care. Bye bye.